So I started doing some research, like what the Navy SEALs do, what do the Green Berets do. Aside from movies and books, I really had no idea. So I needed to educate myself, which I did, and ultimately I landed on the Army because it gave me not only the fastest route to get into special operations by virtue of a Special Forces contract option known as an 18 X-ray contract, but I was also drawn to unconventional warfare as I began to read and learn about what Green Berets do, aside from John Wayne and Rambo, what they really do. I was like, oh, you know what? This actually is tickling something in my heart. So that was the route I went.
Can I interrupt you real quick?
Please.
And can you just define what the mission of the Green Berets are? Because I think a lot of people may not actually be aware of that.
Yeah, it's a good question. So our primary mission is that of unconventional warfare, which is a sexy term, and you can Google the definition, and there's a lot of buzzwords that jump out in there. You start to go into these rabbit holes, it gets quite complex quite quickly. But the major component of that are the two terms with and through. And that's really what Green Berets do. Green Berets work with and through indigenous personnel to achieve a mission. That is the differentiator between Green Berets and the other elements of the military. Now, we don't exclude, we're not the only unit that works, quote, bilaterally with and through, but that is, we are
it's
built
your core
specifically
mission, your core purpose
to do that, which is why unconventional warfare is kind of at the top, and then you've got all these other mission sets or core tasks that we're expected to do, foreign internal defense, counterterrorism, direct action. But we perform those other mission sets by virtue of with and through. So really when you break down what a Green Beret is, or what an ODA does, a fancy acronym for a team, while we are warfighters and warriors, and we jump out of planes, and we break down doors and shoot bad guys in the face, and we do all the cool guy movie stuff, Green Berets are teachers, we're advisors, and we solve complex problems. That's really it.
I've had the privilege of not only just working with, in a military capacity, several Green Berets, but knowing them outside the uniform too. And it's, you guys definitely have, there's a character about Green Berets that it's kind of an intangible thing, but I think that with and through kind of ethos shows up. Everyone I've met, at least, has kind of had that aura about them. And especially too, like in where they've trained me, right? They've given me training or coaching. It's just very evident that that is something you guys not only enjoy doing, but you're very good at doing. And I think there's a lot of lessons that we can take from that outside of the military application of it, to where as men, we can take our gifts and strengths and pay it forward by investing it, having that willing heart to coach and train and mentor to those who are willing to receive and maybe have the capability to do more. Because maybe if you can just take a quick tangent on that, how have you applied all of those lessons to the other aspects of your life?
Man, pretty much throughout all the other aspects of my life. And the one thing that comes to mind as you ask that, because I could take this in probably 100 different directions, the one that comes to mind is humility. Is humility, man, which is a powerful term and a weapon for those of us that choose to deploy it. An offensive weapon is humility. And, me as this 24-year-old, combatives, MMA, football player, athlete, go through all this advanced training, 2+ years, get to the teams, get into Afghanistan, get to work. Like, I'm the man, right? I'm the man. I'm here, and you're going to do what I tell you to do because I know what's right and you don't. And you're going to listen. And as long as you listen to what I say, we're going to win. That was my mentality. And that's probably the mentality of most young special operations operators. You can't blame them for that. Type A personalities with a lot of advanced training and a lot of capability. Roger that.
You feel very confident.
100%, And I learned very quickly that while I have all this knowledge and these special skills and I can do a bunch of things, I found myself learning from not only my teammates, which I learned from constantly, 24/7, but also those that I was there to advise. And here's where the power comes in, is regardless of how great you are, your skill set, what you can do, humility is a sustain. It's a constant. So even though I'm there to advise you and lead you and influence you and so we can create effects together, I'm going to learn from you and it's going to make us better. I think that that's probably one of, if not the greatest takeaways from what I've extracted from life as a Green Beret. Because for one, it was just such a massive shift for me. From this like hyper confident, borderline cocky, borderline arrogant place that I was at to say, whoa, this is completely inaccurate, for one. And then two, seeing the effects of going in there with that humility and weaponizing it and operationalizing it for the sake of the mission.
Man, that's powerful. It's a great reminder, I think, too, for men in general, right? We want to feel powerful. We want to feel capable and dangerous and all, pick the words. And if we pause and allow humility to have a place, it's also, it disarms the tension between the people you're trying to lead anyway. But man, what a powerful example of how important it is. Hey there. We hope you're enjoying this episode of the Present Fathers Podcast. Our mission is to reach as many men as possible and equip them to be excellent family leaders. We believe that by inspiring and equipping men, we can change bloodlines and positively impact our culture. You can join us on this mission and partner with us today by doing one of two things. First, go to your favorite podcast platform, whether that's YouTube videos or Apple or Spotify, Google, etc., and leave us a review. The way the algorithm works is that it really values reviews, and this helps promote our stories to get them out to more people. The second way you can help is by sharing your favorite episodes with friends and family. Help us get the word out so that we can make a difference in our culture. Thank you for watching, and we hope that you join us in our mission to change lives.